Hi there and welcome back to the channel. Today on the bench is a Sony Trinitron. Surprise, surprise. This is the KV-1412UB. So this is pre-composite signals, RF only. It has got a remote control. It is a remote control set. Purchased from eBay for £20. It's an excellent cosmetic shape. There we go, you can see me. Yeah, very good cosmetic shape. The screen is, this glass, the plastic is not marked at all. It is in such good condition. So you've got two RF in, so one on the front and one on the back, similar to the white Sony I recently did some work on. It's got a flap in here, with various controls in here, just standard controls really, nothing worthy of note. And you've got on the front here you've got power, RF, AFT on. On the rear is another RF. This is the cable for the inbuilt aerial. So the aerial's on top of here, and it's in lovely condition. It feels very tight, which everything about this set seems to scream low hour set for me. There we go. There we go. That's the back of it. So side is excellent. Speaker grill is at the top, and you've got this lovely handle, really lovely strong handle, very reminiscent of the KV-1400s and 1300s. Come on, there we go. So yeah, I've not seen inside yet. Let's power it up and then see whether it actually works. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to start digging into it and crack it open. Right, so let's plug this in and see what happens. It's currently on the RCD up the top there, and also on the current limiting bulb. So let's plug it in and see what happens. It's definitely pulling more than 100 watts. Bulb is slowly dimming as the capacitors slowly charge. It is slowly dimming. It's not a hard fault. There we go. So I'm happy with putting this into the mains. Hold on. Right. Here we go. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's open it up and have a look. Right, it's open. However, I'm going to nickname this thing the Furball, because look at the dust levels. I haven't seen one like this in ages. It is absolutely full of dust. Look at it. Wow. I really haven't seen one like this in quite some time. Not to this level. it is just layer and layer and layer of dust. Let's zoom in down there. Yep, just caked. Yeah, it's quite bad. You can't even tell what some of those components. I think that might be a capacitor there. A couple of capacitors, resistor. That's mildly impressive. Yeah, all the way in. That's impressive. Let's try and get round. So that's a cable, just a single strand cable. Look at it. I don't want to touch it. Now I can't smell any burning electrical issues, so normally when components go they tend to leave a pungent smell. Nothing like that. I have a funny feeling this is dodgy solder joints, something like that. Let's get right in. Yeah, at the front it seems pretty clean. Doesn't look overheated. Yeah, this might be a low hour set, but it's just been in a very, very dusty environment. Impressive. Yeah. Right. It's been stored in a very dusty environment, possibly. So the chassis is an SCC 500FA. This is probably going to be a hot chassis of some sort. Yeah, let's turn it round. Just look at that. I could map myself a new hairpiece out of that lot. Wow. Tube is A34JBU00X. I want to see what's inside that tube, so I actually am going to disturb the dust here. That is thick. That tube looks immaculate. Those guns, they haven't discoloured at all, so this might be a very low hour set. Cosmetically, it's actually in not bad condition considering its age. It's 1983. These came out 83 to 85, I think, something like that. By about 85, Sony was starting to think about putting composite inputs and SCART and stuff like that. 85, 86. Yeah, that's impressive. Okay, let's have a look on the board underneath. Looks pretty clean. It has had a little bit of rework. I can see round the flyback. It has been used because you can see the discoloration on the resistor there. There's a big ass resistor in there, probably for the screen for the tube. Let's try and get this thing to zoom. Focus. There we are. So yeah, so that's probably the big ass resistor, which is probably that thing in just there in that heat shrink sort of. So just there. Don't focus on this thing. That's it. There we go. That thing there is probably the resistor for the screen voltage. So yeah, just looking for any dodgy traces. I can't see anything immediately. No. So this, just having a look, anything. That looks like a bit of just red paint or red ink. The ball's in remarkably good condition. It looks like it hasn't really been worked on too much at all. So yeah, so we're probably going to check voltages and so forth on this. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so that's something we've got to do, is check for voltages, probably clean this thing out. I am not working on this thing with that much dust. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Couple of, maybe a repair there, maybe. Yeah. So, but I can't hear any high voltages. So a quick look down through these. The components all look in fantastic condition. This lot just very dusty. So this might be a low hour set. So right. Okay. Let's clean this out then. So there seems to be a couple of dodgy solder joints floating around. There's one there. A couple of other ones I saw. So what I'm going to do is just going to quickly reflow a few of them I think there's one up there. So yes, I'm going to quickly reflow them and then see where we get to. Right, I've retouched quite a lot. There was lots of little micro cracks all over the place in the power supply unit. I don't know whether this is going to work, but well, we'll soon see. Will this be a zero cost fix? We'll soon find out. So, okay, let's turn this over. Right, again, I'm going to plug it into the let's zoom out. Plug it into the circuit breaker and the current limiter. I just in case. So let's turn on. The lights going. It's probably just charging. Let's wait for it to go off. Or start smoking, either one. There we go. Still no light. Fine. So plug directly into mains. Here we go. Nope. No sound of high voltage. Nothing. So it's possible it's a component failure, not just a dodgy solder joint. It's a hell of a lot cleaner in here now. I'll quickly show you. So yeah, it's a lot cleaner in here. So after going over the board, checking diodes and various points, I found that this resistor here, I've just put it back in there just for a placeholder, but it's on the other side. This resistor 602 and 632 are open, so they're not working. That has gone something like 60 meg. That one there was pretty much the same. So this particular one here goes between two ICs, some transistors, and this one here, that one there, actually feeds in from the main feed from the power supply. So that would explain why Again, this why it's not working is because the power, the voltage isn't being dropped down. It's just basically it's gone very high resistance and it's not connecting the voltage to the chip. Now, this chip here, I think it's what's it called? Hold on. Right. This chip here is the UPC 1394C. This is used to control the voltages, so this is basically is used inside the power circuit. So I'm also suspecting this, so I've actually ordered a couple of them. I've also got some sockets here, so I can actually socket this chip and then replace it. So what I'm going to do today, as part of this, is replace those two resistors and socket this chip here. So once the other chip comes in, then it works. Now I'm going to try and power this up with those two resistors done, and still do the socket as well. There's no harm in doing that, because I have a feeling that actually that's okay. It's just the resistors, but I want to replace, change that chip so it's actually socketed. I'm actually putting it into the socket because it's actually very hard to get in there and push it in. So I'm actually going to put this back into the socket as it is, like that. And this, as I said, this is a NEC UPC 1394C. So I've got a few of these coming in, a couple of them. They're quite common on a lot of the Sony XE3 chassis, so yes, I've got some spares. So. Legs bending slightly. So I'm just bending the legs a little bit just to get it fit. So let's just make sure that this goes in. Make sure that this is pushed in. Yep, that's as far as it goes. Perfect. Then we need to get that other resistor out. That's the 632 R632 resistor, and that showed signs that it was failing. So I'm going to put in a brand new 10K into this here, and that should help. Let's just make sure that this is 10K. And there we go. 10K. Cool. The 2K resistors came in. Sorry, 2 meg, I should say. 2.2 meg. Now the other one, I can't seem to find it. It's rolled away somewhere. It's rolled away. Was just completely open. So let's just make sure that this is 1 and 2. Yep. Pretty much there. Ah, you bugger. Where's that gone? Oh. Okay, well. There it is. Cool. Try again. So I've put the TV back together again, and I've also plugged in an RF source. The resistors soldered now into place. So let's see what happens when I plug it in. Let's use the current limiting bulb, which is up there. So it's just a light bulb wired in series, which will limit the current going into the TV to the wattage of the bulb. So if the bulb lights up bright, you know that actually it's consuming that much, and the TV isn't. So that's the thing, is literally if this shorts out, that will light up nice and bright. So right, reset. Let's plug in. And let's see what happens. Nothing. Okay. Right. Nothing at all. Is the bulb getting... Ah. Right. Hold on. It's down there. Yep. Hold on. That'd be why. It's not plugged in. So let's plug that into the RCD. And I said the RCD is mounted up on the wall there. Let's try again. Right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on. Turn it off. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's wait for the bulb to dim. Let's see whether it will dim down. Often the degaussing circuit will take a huge amount of current. So we're actually limiting the degaussing circuit by the 100-watt bulb, and that takes far more. There we go. Look, oh, there we go. Oh, I think we might have signs of life. I can hear some sort of high voltage. But it might not be enough current to drive the TV. There we go. There we go. It's alive. So that resistor worked. It's a bit wobbly. It is a bit wobbly. Let's see. So I'm just going to choose, say, channel 4, and we do have hang on, no disc. Let's put. It's quite wobbly. That could be the amount of current that is being drawn is being limited by the bulb. So, okay. So let's try UHF search. There we go. Can you see? It's actually limiting the current and actually reducing the amount of current that can be used to actually generate the picture. That's why we have got a picture which is shrunken on screen. So let's bypass the bulb. Let's go straight into the mains. There we go. Oh, there we go. Right. This is really good news. I said it was just that resistor, or those two resistors, I should say, I've replaced. Oh, wrong one. And there we go. Wow. That is a rather good picture. That is very, very good indeed. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Is it gonna? No. There we go. That's about as best as close as I can get before the camera goes out of sync with the TV. Let's play on that. Wow. Yes, that works. That works really well. There we go. This is 8K. So we can actually don't get the flicker from the frame rate. The convergence is excellent on those. It looked like it wasn't, but actually it is. Color representation's good. The blue, the red's a little overdriven. So let's bring that down a little bit. Yeah, the red's a little overdriven, but well, we can work with that. Yeah, the contrast was whacked right up. This to me is a low hour set. I think it's been broken for some time, and people have just left it in the corner. Yeah, that is excellent. Let's try fine tuning. Oh, yep, there we go. If I just do UF search, there we go, brings it back in. Turn that down, that noise down. Yeah, and again we've got the ability to do with that. Yeah, the red's a little overdriven, but the whites look okay. So There we go. Yep. So program that. Yep, that all seems fine. No text. So this doesn't look like it's got a space for the board for teletext on that. The remote control is in good working order. What just happened then? Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. It's got a manual switch off, so we've got power like that, and we can turn it back on again. But here, if you press that, right, yeah, so you can switch it off like that, and you can switch it back on by pressing a number. But you've got a button here, that button there. If I press it, okay, you didn't see that. Okay, let me do it again. So there we go. If you look at the power button down there and you watch that, when I press this, I love Sony. They just make such weird designs. So yeah, it's working really well. Let's try. There we go. Yeah, the contrast is a little bit the thing. Let's bring the colour down a little bit. It's pretty good. The alignment is pretty damn good. Let's there we go. So we've got a straight on. There's some bending at the bottom here. That one there is pretty good when it gets up to here. That's fine. We've got the bottom and the top, which is absolutely good. The circle looks pretty circular to me. What we're going to go on to, yeah, there we go. So you might be able to see that this part here is slightly bent inwards down there. But otherwise, that's pretty good. Yeah. So I'm just going to show you again. If I press that button there, ready? Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, yep. Just trying various buttons. That did something. So I think that actually reset. So if I do that, then I press that one. Ah, so that's resetting it. So okay, that's fine. Text CL, that, yeah, just display and that. So okay. And the great thing is that this has also got the beta. So I can control the Betamax machine, play, rewind and all that. Now what generation, I'm not sure. This could be the older generation, the first and second generation, not the third transport. So yeah, it might be that, but anyway, not bad for, this is what, 30 quid plus maybe 20 quid in parts. I've got a fully working machine and it's in such great condition. There's no scratches on this plastic. There's one or two minor scratches up there, but everything is all in great shape on this. So let's go to GT. So what that is basically allows you to have, it's equivalent of before you have composite and audio in on the front of TVs or things for your camcorder or something like that, this was used for computers. So if you had a vintage, well, we call them vintage now, but if you had a computer in a day back in the early 80s, you could plug it into there, and you could then leave your aerial plugged in at the back, and then and have the computer plugged in at the front, and so you didn't have to go around and reach around for to change the aerial. I know in the States they actually had splitters where you actually had that in place, but here, yeah, that was far more common. Yeah, I'm really quite pleased with this little thing. It's a great picture, really good picture. Let's try. Let's move forwards. Yep. Let's move back. There we go. Right. And the noise you hear is basically sweeping the audio frequencies. It is still a bit overdriven. That red, yeah, definitely overdriven. There we go, let's just turn that down. So, white looks good. Yeah, that's a really nice setup. Focus is excellent. Now, red. Okay, so from my eye here, I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, that thing, is that there is a little bit of, looks like some sort of darkness in that there. So there's some sort of magnetic problem here. So the degaussing hasn't got cleared it. Might need a few cycles. This TV has been. The seller did say that it hasn't worked for years, and it's just been sitting around in their parents' place in a corner for a long time. So I would say probably 5-10 years at least. So that's red. There's green. And there's blue. Now in the camera you can see some wire patterns there. That's not visible here. That's just interference between the cameras, the camera and the shadow mask on the TV. Yeah. I think the camera's also trying to autofocus. Let's go to white. That looks pretty white to me. In the camera it's slightly bluish, I can see it, but actually that is pretty white to me. Grayscales look good. Yeah, there is a bending down on that corner. Yeah. Well, I'm very pleased with this. So I am going to put this back together again and give it a clean up, a wipe down. And I'm going to put it on test in the house, in the spare room, in my office, and see how it goes.